Meet the Ford Mach-E, the first ever mass-produced electric Mustang. And I don't know about you, but it doesn't look like a Mustang to me. And what I want to know is, does that pony badge deserve to live on the front of this vehicle? And what do you reckon? Has Ford gelded the stallion by making a Mustang SUV? Have your say in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe. Launched back in 2019 at the Los Angeles Motor Show, the Mustang Mach-E is very late to the EV party in Australia. Prices start at $80,000 for the entry-level model and top out at $109,000 for the fast dual-motor GT flagship version, which is what we're going to focus on today. That means this sporty SUV is $44,000 more expensive than the petrol-powered V8 Mustang GT Coupe. It's also roughly $10,000 more expensive than the Kia EV6. The top-selling EV in Australia, the Tesla Model Y, is also significantly more affordable. In terms of design, the taillights are similar to the Mustang Coupe, but the front end is unexciting. Although 134 litres of storage space in the front is pretty cool. Where the Mach-E adheres more closely to traditional Mustang ideology is in the powertrain department. Now, entry-level models have one motor, rear drive, around 200 kilowatts. This one, the GT, it has twin motors and pumps out 358 kilowatts of power. That's big, and it bangs out more torque than a supercharged V8. Despite weighing almost 2.3 tons, that's pretty heavy, Ford reckons this will accelerate from 0 to 100 in 3.7 seconds. That's quick enough to smoke most of its V8-powered Mustang Coupe cousins. And to rein it all in, you've got Brembo brakes with big 385mm discs. This top-spec GT model has a range of just under 500 kilometres from its 91 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion battery, but experience tells me that those claims are often hard to achieve in the real world. The interior looks pretty good for a roughly 3-year-old car. It's nicely laid out, material quality is pretty good, and this 15.5-inch central screen is gorgeous. Plus you've got a 10.2-inch digital driver's display. But what makes this GT model special? Well, not much. It's still got the super cheap controller here on the screen. That does not feel good. Same with the stalks. These are off a Ford Fiesta. They bring it down a little bit, but you do get these luscious sports seats, and they feel as good as they look. They are very, very comfortable. There is pretty reasonable room back here, and it goes without saying that this is certainly the most pragmatic Mustang yet. I've got pretty good leg room, can't quite get my feet right under the seats, but the seats are rather comfortable. Headroom is a little bit tight, but you do get this beautiful panoramic glass roof. Amenity, not bad. You've got USB A and C ports, air vents, armrest, plus the usual child seat accoutrements, ISOFIX and top tether. You can fit a fair bit of gear in the back of the Mach-E, but its 402 litres of space is far from class leading in the mid-size SUV segment. And if it's cargo space you're looking for, you should definitely start with the Tesla Model Y. It is much bigger. Amenity, pretty good. You've got tie-down hooks, 2 bag hooks, 12-volt socket, 60/40 split folding rear seats, but like all EVs, there's no spare tyre, just a puncture repair kit. And oddly, it can't tow. There is no option to put a tow ball on it. But anyway, I want to see how this pony rides. Cue the driving music. So we're on the racetrack first up in the GT, and right away, this is very impressive. It is bucketing down right now, and despite that, it has loads of grip. But one of the chief things I'm noticing is how flat it sits through corners. There is not a lot of body roll here going on. All right, so we're gonna do launch control now. This should be a bit of fun in the wet. We put it in untamed mode, and then foot on brake, foot on throttle, and the front wheels are spinning, and now they've gripped up at 30 k's an hour, and there's 100. That's pretty cool. It kind of rears up a little bit like an old school Mustang, but grip levels in the wet, impressive. The steering's got a surprising amount of weight to it, and it gives it a little bit of character. And as well, you've got that rear bias with the all-wheel drive system, so it gives it this ability to really punch out the corners nicely. That is very good. Despite having adaptive dampers, I don't think the GT has the suspension sophistication to match the likes of the Porsche Taycan and the new BMW i5 M60 in corners, and especially in its ability to hide the vehicle's weight. But look, it's half the price compared to those vehicles, and in that respect represents pretty good value for money. And also, compared to something like a Tesla Model Y, it's going to run rings around it on a windy road, I reckon. So after a few laps on the track, a few things have become clear. The tyres, Pirelli P0s, are very impressive, lots of grip. But the brakes, although they are very strong, they're Brembos, it's kind of like on or off. It's very hard to modulate them gently and get that nuance through the brake pedal. It's kind of like all or nothing in a way.
During our first drive in Detroit back in 2022, we found that ride comfort was woeful on US spec cars and just way too firm. Thankfully, Aussie cars take the European suspension tune, and it is much better. It definitely absorbs the bumps and lumps way more effectively than those US versions.
Ford is clearly dining out on the Mustang name here, but after driving it on road and track, and when viewed through a high-performance SUV prism, there's no doubting this is an entertaining and convincing EV. Does it live up to the Mustang name? Not in my opinion. But let that take nothing away from the fact that this EV has loads of character. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and like and leave a comment. What do you reckon? Does the Mustang badge deserve to be on this SUV?